Hello, welcome to the stream, everybody. Welcome on in. We're getting ourselves started here. We are in the United States of America here. We're now on track to get ourselves on here. Let's get to the Grand Prix and see what we're getting ourselves in today.
Welcome to the United States Grand Prix. The Circuit of the Americas is known for its bumpy surface, and with around 133 feet of elevation changes, starting with the uphill climb to turn 1, the Big Red, it's an all-round challenge for cars and drivers. The track in Austin is a contradiction. It's high speed, but drivers need a decent amount of downforce to make good on overtaking. Having the grip to outbrake opponents here is key.
This weekend will be taking a slightly different form, as we have the addition of a thrilling sprint race thrown into the mix.
Sit tight then for the rest of the action.
Okay. Oh, come on. Heavy rain. Really? Just my luck. Why must I end up dealing with rain? My setup is not meant for rain downforce. Let's see. We're going to use the soft compound. Easy in, easy out. These are about 22 laps, so that means roughly around like 19 laps. And we're going to have Alonso take a sit down for this time. So, we are going to go ahead, head out on track, and get ourselves some practice. Let's go. Clear on track, clear on track. Ugh, a little close. I wouldn't have released too soon, but
Ready to check?
ready to check confirm.
Good for me too.
The radio is good? You can hear me, yeah?
Yep, radio is good, drink's good.
The radio is good.
Radio's good and drinks good. I guess it's gonna be a long session then, if you said that. We're being through the time. The time is definitely there. Yeah! Check Dodo hand. Really? You just wrecked the vehicles. Are you serious? Bloody hell. You're fired.
So let's take a look at the replay.
This session is done. We're out. But he's not part of the race. He caused the collision. I'm out. Both cars retired. Ugh. Hey, Skyfrost. What the? Ay, tomatoes are not this down. How did this persona estar matando y otro hasta que? Ay, Dios mío. I don't know if it was a good setup or bad setup. You've been falling for 10 months. 10 months, 29 days. Nah. Ah well. But how are you doing so far? Hopefully you're doing alright. Yes, I know. Surprisingly, almost close to the year.
Hey, listen.
It has been, some people say it's been rough. But it depends. Everybody has strong suit and weaknesses. Ay, ay. I just don't know what to do with this. He took me out. Took out the team. Ay, ay, ay. Also, Aw. Aw. Hmm. It would be hard if there was so much drama. So right now you're just relaxing from all the nonsense that you had?
Welcome to qualifying. Let's find out who's got what it takes as we establish the grid for the sprint.
Just like normal qualifying, the session this weekend will be divided into Q1, Q2 and Q3, with the best times determining the grid for the sprint.
In terms of Lance Stroll, how do you think he's doing, Karun?
They weren't as quick as I expected them to be in practice. They'll
So
want
how
to
are you
land better
feeling
lap
then?
times than that today to earn a solid position on the starting grid.
And with that, let's get back onto the track.
Ugh.
Hey, listen.
McPhee. So you don't know? Well, hopefully things do improve for yourself. Hopefully things goes alright for us. All I can say is hope for the best and forget the rest. How are you doing, McVie? Me. Okay. Feel like I wouldn't mind him do over with that one. Yeah, I'm gonna call it do over. Still same training grounds. Now I'm gonna redo the setup here. I think this will be the first time I end up questing a do-over with all this. I don't think I ever did over the race again. But it was a rookie driver. They would call rookie crap. A rookie mistake. Let's see. Get some space in between there. Don't want the same thing to happen again. Gotta get some technical data. Oh boy.
VSC, VSC. Okay, stay close to the red dots.
Okay.
Understood.
So luckily it was just
VSC ending.
Yep, understood.
so with Ricardo's safely distanced with that, we didn't lose it this time.
How was the car?
All okay from my side.
Confirmed.
Okay. Okay. Wedge this to 9. 5. I would say same. 30. Drop this down to 10. There you go. Go. It's go time for them. So we do have 27%, so it's almost halfway there. Another, let's see, 23 more percent to do the research. Slowly but surely, it's getting there. Ta-dum. See if our knowledge can improve.
How do you feel with the car at the moment?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Okay, copy that.
Okay. Fine. 20. We'll be pushing it. Pushing on the time.
There's a yellow flag now.
Not for us. Let's see. %, but we're not gonna get it during the session because we're under another sprint race, which is gonna hinder us.
Update on tires when you can.
Oh boy.
It's time to determine starting positions for the sprint race, here in qualifying.
In this session, drivers will be fighting for grid positions in the weekend sprint race. Only the fastest 10 will make it to Q3, where they're in with a chance of taking pole.
And here's a driver there's been quite a focus on recently, Karun, Valtteri Bottas.
We saw some disappointing lap times from them in practice. It could be that the team were experimenting with the car, but the pressure's now on them to deliver.
There's not much left to say, so let's get into it.
Okay. Let's see. See what we get ourselves into. That rookie driver just messed up the components. The engine's so decent. Installed that component. Gearbox. We got the best one at the moment. An additional lamp. We are going to switch his components.
I crash.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he did crash. That rookie driver just does not know. That's the reason why rookies got to be careful. Can't rely on them all the time. Well, we're going to be under everybody's satisfactory, so we're going to go ahead and see what we got.
Green light.
Green light, green light.
Make sure you stay negative. We're coming in.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Stay negative on your delta. Mode in, please. Mode in.
Copy.
We're going to go ahead and take another leave of it. Luckily, nobody came out this time.
And that's currently P1. Take it easy in your in-lap.
Cheers.
Currently P1. Mode in, please. Mode in.
Oh,
Copy.
excelente. So we're good. So we're going to be into Q2, so yep, we're good. The bottom half of the grid did not make it. Ah, so close. Okay. Shh. You always gotta keep one extra lap of fuel. Gotta keep ourselves in positive delta.
Okay, stay close to the reference. On charge on right away, please.
Okay.
Understood.
Currently P1. Mode in, please, mode in.
Copy. Understood.
Let's see. We'll take another leap of faith at this one. Okay, we're back on track.
So that's currently P2. Okay, good job, you were on target.
Okay.
Charge on and box. Charge on and box.
Box in this lap.
Understood.
There we go. Ended the session. Laps. Do they keep taking sting? Let's get out there.
At the moment, you're P2. Okay, that's a very good lap.
Let's see what
Charge
we
on and box. Charge on, box, box.
Okay. Understood.
What about tyres?
Bad.
Okay, understood.
Currently P8.
Okay. Alrighty.
Not where I expected him
Charge on
to
and
be in.
box.
Okay. Understood.
Hmm. 40 laps, so good 30 laps. Is my headset going now? I think so. This. Okay. I guess the echoing stopped. Is it? It was echoing for a second. Now it's not. Luckily, that's good. Well then, let's get on track and hopefully this will be good. Since we can't do any setup changes, we just got to deal with what we have. Reason why we got another session for us is because they want us to get our technical knowledge, which is this. Technical knowledge for us is at 83. because we're practicing on the hard compound because we are going to be using it. They're doing some practice laps with it. You can see they're improving with a little bits here and there using the hard compound. So we're going to see if they're going to end up improving. Let's see here, with the 88%, we should be good with their technical knowledge. I know Alonso did not practice during the first session, let a rookie driver destroy his vehicle. So he's only at 80, but Ricardo's good at 100% with completed technical knowledge is almost there. We are going to be switching to our next compound, which will be the mediums. Should be improving what we have here, so we should be able to go ahead pass through there. Let's pull him in. Calling you in. Box, box. Go for. This one is for a 30. So that one's exactly on the marker. So let's go ahead and do 26 on there. Let's go ahead and go on track and get it done. We're getting there. The session's almost good. Technical knowledge is almost there. 93%, so we're almost about to be equivalently be good. And hopefully you guys are doing well with this. I know it's been a while since I didn't, myself even doing anything that requires me to reset. I haven't did that at all during this whole entire session at all. This is the first time I ever end up requesting a reset self, so right off, that's something that I didn't expect. So a reset is required for me. So
Hey, listen.
Greg, hi there, Greg. Hey, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. I'm doing fine. I'm just doing fine. How was your day, night, or evening for yourself?
Okay, we take the flag.
Okay. Taking a flag right here. For me, I am an afternoon. I do work in the afternoon myself. Doing decently.
Well, it's a different format this weekend, with a sprint set to spice up today's events. The sprint kicks off the racing action for the weekend, a 100-kilometre battle to set the grid for the Grand Prix.
It's not only the starting grid decided here, though. The top finishers in the sprint have the chance to score crucial championship points.
But the question is, who will be the lone star in the sprint around Texas?
We are doing good for Team Haas. We are doing good in the results for ourselves for the, let's see, reports, I think I won't be able to see it, but we are basically, we're first in the championship, and we have Alonso as our driver of, gotta get another component. So many wrecks with these components. Hate having to replace so many components for this. The rookie drivers that I had before ended up damaging the car pretty good.
Hey, listen.
Let's just say it was rookie stuff that ended up happening by the driver itself. It was the driver that was originally driving for us, ended up wrecking so much that we ended up basically terminating his contract. And I basically did not want to go ahead and have another round with them. So I was like, I'm just done. I wasn't going to put up with his nonsense. Because he messed up both car 1 and car 2, both drivers. I had 2 rookie drivers and they're both was eliminated. I wasn't going to have that on mine. Yes, I know. I didn't have much of a choice. I have to use the penalty.
The grid is all set here in Texas for the 19 laps of today's sprint.
Always a popular event with the audiences in Austin. We're hoping to see drivers dueling it out around the circuit of the Americas.
But just who comes out on top when the checkered flag flies?
Yep.
Things
Well,
are hotting up here in Texas for the sprint.
My single red lights.
It's lights out and away we go.
Try to reduce the hit on the curb.
Copy.
And we have margin to push a little bit more on the tires.
Understood.
Let's see here.
Okay, remember mode push.
For us, our team has first in the championship with Ricardo in third. And we are in first in the constructors right here. So we are in the championship. I have my own strategy that I'm following, so originally I was doing it, but let's see. What's wrong with Ricardo? Ricardo, what's going on with you? On board.
Yep. This is my pace.
Are you sure about that? It can't be your pace.
You focus on your race.
Come on, Ricardo. Lonzo's able to maintain it, but you, Ricardo, don't seem to be able to do it. What's going on? Let's get that fuel pushing.
From tyre point of view, we don't think lift and coast is necessary.
Copy.
DRS is enabled. You are currently P2. So next car, Perez. Car behind is Verstappen now.
Okay. Put it through. Heavy fuel, heavy usage. Let it through. Yep, that's what my session is. I pretty much a little bit overfueled the vehicle, but we have full throttle, so I like putting the vehicle in full throttle. I have my own way that I do things, so everybody has their own, which for me, it's that. So, ooh, it's a little bit overheating. There. It works, right? See, my driver's been doing it each time. Even with the excessive fuel, I just forgot to tell him to use the fuel instead of saving the fuel. We got so much space. Come on. Come on, Ricardo. You got space in there. Come on. Get in there. Cut in there. You got it. Side by side with Russell right now. Russell and him are both going at it. Still on our door side. Still on our door side. You still try to keep on their door. Sheesh. You're almost tempted to make me end up using some ERS system. Let's see, what are you doing, Alonzo? See, Alonzo's right there. I'm in a little struggle here. Come on. He's playing defense. He's not letting us pass through him. But he's going to run out of ERS system. We're not using our ERS system. We got quite a bit of laps to get through, so. But this is just a sprint race, so it's only the first half of the sprint race. We still have the full race to do still. So I'm conserving as much tires as I can. Instead of putting mediums that I would do, trying to use the soft and try to use these until the end of the session.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I cannot pass.
Keep pushing.
Yes, keep pushing. He's trying to shut your door right there. Come on. Going too wide, Alonzo. Are you struggling that much? I'm starting to think, what am I going to be doing with Alonzo? Because he's starting to struggle where I didn't have this trouble before. And this is only Perez. Stafford is right behind him. The staff seems like our... Huh. Okay, he got the straight through, the straightway. He got through. Okay, bye-bye. And you can see we have more tire wear for us to use. We are at 86 and he's at 71.
Good job. Only P1.
We have it seems like we're protecting our tires pretty good with this. For us staying away from the curves and using it to our advantage. Medium aggression on the tires on the soft compound. And staying off the curves let us keep a little heat on them, but also don't overheat them. Now, since Alonso's good, let's go ahead and return back to Ricardo's session. I don't know. He's struggling for some reason. He's struggling with this. I don't know why is he struggling. Is there a problem with the car? New components. No problem with the tire wear. No damage. Ugh. Come on, Ricardo. You gotta start improving. Time to go to work. Come on. We have a malfunction. I don't know why is Ricardo having a struggle right now. He wasn't having a struggle during the practice session, but he's having a struggle right now. But we'll be in heavy rain during the race. So the good positions we can get is more benefit for us. Come on. I was almost tempted to use. Good. We're using it.
Okay, we need some deploy.
Okay.
You guys are using that. Come on. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. DRS system are active. Here we go. Cutting right in there with the Ferrari, and the two Ferrari is up there. And there we go. Look at this. Using a little ERS system, and bam. We were back there struggling, and now we're just like, oof. Moving on up now. Okay, we'll bring it back a little bit. Neutral. There we go. Everybody's already losing their tire wear already. The Red Bull team only has the 50s. Yeah. Oh, somebody's boxing this lap? No way. No way. This is... We're not supposed to box during these laps. You're gonna... what? That's strange. Usually we don't have everybody boxing or even boxing during these times. That means they're gonna be falling behind then. Yeah. Gonna stir it up, McAfee, aren't ya? I don't see why they box. It's way too early. Well, it's way too much that it's gonna infect them. They're not gonna make it in time. Even with aggressive, they're not gonna make it in time. Even with full throttle, heavy tires, or even mediums, you soft, full throttle, full fuel, full ERS system. You need at least 4 ERS systems to catch up to the field, and that's if you're not battling. So it's probably going to be not as expected them to catch back up. So we're going to be seeing most of the ones that did end up hitting during these laps are going to be not going to be in this good positions themselves. Because this is only a one shot. It's almost like a qualifying session, but it's not a qualifying, it's a full throttle itself. So we got ourselves quite a bit of tire protection right now. Our driver one is all the way up ahead, Alonso. Ricardo's starting to come right behind Verstappen, and he's right behind his former teammate. DRS straight through. Trying to head to the left. He's doing a little blockade with his tires on the right side. Are we not going to make it on that turn? Come on. Let's go through. Come on. See, he's already a medium tire. Aggressive tires. Heavy fuel. ERS is neutral. We could use the ERS system. He is blockading quite a bit on us. If we use ERS, he's going to stop us. So right now, he's trying to blockade us, but he is using a lot of his ERS to end up blockading us. More people hitting into the pits. I don't know what's their strategy, because it's definitely not the strategy that I know. With a 10-lap warning. What, somebody's winning on mediums? Okay, let's go for it.
Overtake available.
Come on. Nope, he's blockading us again. He's blockading it on us. You're gonna have to end up doing a little aggressiveness on this. He's not gonna let you through unless you go for it. He's saving it during the curves, and then he has enough DRS to blockade us during these long straightaways. Oh, he went into the pits. That is something I didn't expect him to do. I don't know what's people's strategy. I don't see how pitting for the lap automatically is going to end up giving you more time to be ahead. Even if you use rich mix tire, you have to be at least where Stroll is. Let's see. Like Leclerc, Stroll, they are ones, but some of them, they don't have enough tire wear to be able to get to us. So we may end up not even seeing them at all. Right now, it's calm before the storm. Right now, we already got ourselves already in a good position. So far, we are ready for the race itself. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this since we already know we're going to be through this. So I'm going to go ahead and press forward on this. So we're going to go ahead and go with the camera view on top here, and we're going to move forward with this. Right now we're just fast forwarding it because we already know that we're going to be in front of there. And you can see even right now, sprint race, I don't consider them as a full race itself, because all it is showing your full qualification. Final lap warning. So everybody's just on the final lap now. You can see we're just made it to that money marker. We're 30%.
Fully deserved.
This is amazing. We deserve it. I think we deserve it.
Alonso has won the sprint. Fernando Alonso, as ever, as cool as you like.
We know that's, but it's a sprint. We still got the full race to
And
do.
their hard work is rewarded with maximum points.
Okay, we take the flag.
So right now you can see we're still in the top still. There's Alonso.
A sensational drive from Fernando Alonso. He's our sprint winner today.
And what a well-deserved P1 finish that was. Absolutely outstanding.
Okay.
Well, there's nothing quite like it. Welcome along to race day.
The Circuit of the Americas is definitely a track that rewards bravery on the brakes, just like when Lewis Hamilton passed Sebastian Vettel unbelievably late here to take the win in 2012. The weather is very overcast here. Strategies might have to be quite flexible going into today's race.
And it goes without saying that a lot can happen over the course of 56 laps. So prepare
course.
yourselves for all the action at the United States Grand Prix.
Eh? Eh? Oh boy. Let's see here. I think we're gonna do a different strategy here. So we are gonna switch plans and gear here. We're gonna go for mediums, and then we're gonna go ahead. We're expecting heavy rain around lap 22. So we're gonna go ahead and plan for this, and we'll see where we're at. We're gonna see if that's gonna be what we're gonna receive. We're gonna carry a little bit. Let's go for the max and then drop it down by 1, because we're gonna be using a little bit less fuel during the race. We're gonna be saving fuel on there. Well, let's get out there and see what we're gonna get ourselves into.
We're not far off now here in Austin as the drivers ready themselves for this 56-lap race. The composure of Fernando Alonso, really clear to see.
They're on pole and it's well deserved. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do.
Right, let's get to it then.
Get in there.
Sit tight and get ready. It's the
5
United
single
States Grand Prix.
red lights.
And it's lights out and away we go.
We can still do it.
Okay, remember mode push.
Copy.
Okay, we're gonna be in the back of the field. for
Try
this.
to reduce the hit on the curb.
Hey, listen.
Okay, copy.
Okay. Nyeh. What is it, Maxie? Yeah, no, it's just going hitting your head because we're just starting back. We're like in the back of the field again. We're with all the other drivers that needs to take a penalty. Ugh. Whoa! Full stop. This is not a parking lot. This is not a parking lot. Shoot.
Okay. Alrighty.
Head back down, we stay in the rhythm.
Now we're watching Max Verstappen here.
Uh-oh. No.
The opportunity's there.
Oh, no. No.
And Verstappen says thank you very much.
No. No way. This is not happening to me. This is not happening to me. Really? The game crash? Shoot. Be right back, guys. Sector 2 and Sector 1. Sector 2 and Sector 1. Flag. We have a crash on track. That's what I called for. I knew that was going to be something going to happen. Told ya. I so called it. I so called that. I needed that. We're gonna be doing this. Come on. This is gonna be the hype that we needed. We're already past and beyond our little small hype. We are already better than our original drivers. We are really bringing this home. We only got about 8 kilograms of fuel.
Pistol. Flashbangs. Eh. Okay. Magazines. Pistol magazine. Med kit. Healing shot. It's pretty much on the vest that I have. Huh. There we go. Process self-sabotage himself. Ah.
Okay, everybody, I'm back again. Let's see if we can get this back on here again. Let's get this on the capture. Okay. I still don't see why we still got our position still got hindered. So. I still don't see why do we need to take a hinder for us. When we didn't need to be hindered that badly. We didn't do anything. Now I'm just redoing what I just did earlier. But you saw I couldn't control that. That was actually a glitch. I was looking at the menu when it decided to do that. So I can't say why it did that, so. You saw that I couldn't do anything at all. Forgot. Update. Go. Okay. Go ahead and get back into the race again since it decided to crash. Come on.
We're not far off now here in Austin as the drivers ready themselves for this 56-lap race. And plenty of people watching on will be keen to follow Fernando Alonso's progress.
They're on pole, and it's well deserved. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do.
And it'll be exciting to see just what will happen here today.
Thank you, Third Gen, for the lurch itself.
Here we go. It's the United States Grand And it's lights out, and away we go.
Okay, remember mode push.
Copy.
Come on, get in there. Why are you struggling, Ricardo? Because there's rain, we're switching to meat. We are using mediums, so we would use the hard compound first, but since we got rain, I don't want to just have it so slow. So we may end up finding a new driver. Probably will be the next thing we're gonna have to do. My golly, really?
Keep pushing.
Well, Ricardo is losing more. He's not even gaining any positions. Come on, Ricardo, get in there.
Try to reduce the hits on the curb.
Okay, yeah.
Whoa. What was that? He just slowed down. I wonder if I should replace my drivers, but they're the best I'm gonna get. So for us, that's just back here. Gotta get up there. I wonder if Ricardo's off the pace. Really seems to be off the pace. It's like, you gotta end up seeing why Ricardo's. I still don't understand why is he off the pace. Not by tires, not a mechanical failure.
DRS is enabled.
Okay.
You are currently P2.
Leclerc up front. Okay, let's go to six. Come on. Switch to 7th gear. Slowing him down. He's dropping you down. Oh boy. He's blockading us by the door. Now we just gotta full throttle it. Come on. There you go.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I cannot pass.
Copy that.
Remember, long way to go in this race.
Yep, we got a long way to go, so no rush on it. But I prefer you being already ahead of them. Let's see, if we wanted to do that, we probably would use ERA system with our DRS.
Oh, my goodness!
Yes, I know, it would be my goodness moment. And there he goes, straight through, past through the left-hand side. Bye-bye. So now he's in front.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes.
Good job, mate.
Now it's time for Ricardo to get up there. Okay, where he's going right inside of the. Let's see here. He should be good, but that's not to say that he's going to run into some problems there. Yellow flag, where's the caution at? Spin around. Another car spun out on track. So, let's see. Who's the spun around car?
And here we've got a yellow flag.
Oh! Stroll's spun
It's
out.
just a yellow at the moment. Just a yellow. Keep the head down.
Ooh.
Okay, understood.
That would have been bad if we just went around the blind corner.
Let's go.
Yep, let's go.
Good job.
Come on. Come on, Ricardo. You need me to host you by getting some more? Nope, you got it. Another yellow. Where's that yellow coming from? Should be good. It was in third that he spun around. So we should be good getting through there, so. Freeway. Jeez. All three of them are right there, and they're all battling for 11th, 12th, and 13th position. Long race, guys. Don't need to tear yourselves apart. Okay, it looks like someone seems to be losing his power. None of his APU unit just went out or he's slowing down pretty badly. Come on. Bottas is there. Hell, come on. You got this. DRS, come on. Bring it in. And we're getting past them. And Bottas is now past. There's the three of them up there. Let's close the gap. Go back to an outside view. outside of Norris. Nocon is next. But he's getting there slowly but surely. Still battling it on there. Oh boy. We're still using Rich Mix still. Now we're past Elcon. Okay, so the next one is still like the Pierce or Hamilton. Since he's closing the gap real fast onto them. Right behind him. See this battle right here? Far we got a small window right there, but he's gonna shut the door on us. But we're gonna try to slit ourselves through there. We're gonna pass through them right behind Hamilton. And let's see if we can pass through Hamilton through the S curves through these. Nope. Still blockading us. Come on. Outside, on the outside. He's at your door. We're passing through them. There we go. Bye-bye. Let's see, gas is right there. Let's see, he's on a hard tire, so that means he's a little bit slower. But that means he's going to be able to box us a little bit more. We're still holding around some gear here. Here's detection zone. Let's go for it. Going on the outside on the left. He's on your right on the doorstep, and we're past. Next is Albon for Williams. We're only 9 laps in, and you can see him that Ricardo gone from the back of the field to pretty much already 7th in the grid. What is it? Move. Eat. Albon right there. Wait for it. Ooh, that car real quick. Let's see. Sixth gear, we're supposed to be in 7th gear here. There we go. DRS detection zone. We got the detection zone on us. So now we're going to go ahead and towards the DRS section and go past. You went too far to the right. You need to go to the left-hand side. So why can't you getting through the outside? Come on. Here it is, first wheel well. There you go. And pass through the S curves. Next one is Russell. Up ahead. Jeez. Yeah, might just keep going with this. We're just slamming through them. Still catching up to Russell. So around lap 20-ish is going to be rain, light rain, then heavy rain. Question is, do we want to be prepared for the medium rain or should we prepare for the heaviest rain? Because we could go light and then go to heavy. But it depends on if we're going to be able to get in there. Because we could switch to intermediates and wets and then back to intermediates. Let's see here. Percent. We're going to be having forecast. Looks like medium. Water looks like it's going to be medium, not heavy. We know the grip's going to be dropping off there, but we're going to see how this is going to go. Relatively still early before the rain starts coming in yet. So, still got time before it ends up start dropping completely on us. It's Russell right in front of us. Come on. Oh, a Ferrari just went into the pits itself. Doorstep of Russell. And we passed through the two of them. And we're past.
Alrighty. Nice.
It is nice. You
You're doing a
overtaking.
good job.
One in the pits and one on the side road, so you got a double overtake. That's excellent. So you're only 2 positions away from catching up to your teammate, which is Alonso that he's been just cruising all day front. Right there to the inside. There we go. Overtake, and he's done. Now it's Leclerc. Leclerc's in the middle between the two of them. Torch driver. So you can see we've been conserving our tires to this point and keeping everything in balance. Like to keep it in balance, but we're trying to keep ourselves at least stable enough to be able to keep going. But we'll see if that's going to stick their way. Let's see. catching up to her. Still in the middle. Not getting no pit stops just yet. We see him up there. Yellow flags behind the backfield. Multiple crashes right there. What's going on?
Oh dear,
It's-
a crash! There's been a crash! Now we should be able to take a look here. So here we go, heading into turn 1.
Oh,
Not a lot of wiggle room here.
12 contact.
And oh, that's obviously far from intentional, but there was contact. Now their confidence will have taken a hit with that. And you can just feel the frustration from the team watching on the monitors.
That's why we try to stay up front so we don't have to deal with all the stuff that happened back there. We're almost on target on fuel. We're almost target on fuel. Reason why I say we're target on fuel because we're right there at very. Oh, he's going into the box and pits. So now we automatically get a free positions for us. So that makes it a little more easier, but would have liked to get it on track. But hey, free position is free position for us, so we'll take it. And both of them are in the pits. We're not too concerned about other people's problems in the pits itself, so. So for us, we're just keeping ourselves alive here. We're starting to come into that point that we're going to be having some cloud coverage around the area. Everybody's in good condition right now. At the moment, we are in the clear. We are in the clear at the moment, so. Now we just pretty much have the waiting game because right now we're sitting pretty with just having everything balanced. Right now we don't need to do any changes or anything. We're at fuel, so once the rain comes, we're not going to be too aggressive. We're going to be in normal fuel. We could end up using more fuel, but we will not go away as quickly as we're just conserving more of the fuel in there. ERS is going to be essential because there'll be just additional replace. We won't have the DRS system later on when it starts pouring, so. So you can see we're all good. Some people are having trouble keep their tire temps good. We're at 60 and some of them are still struggling around 40-ish, 50, 40-ish. Some of them already has pitted, so it really doesn't compare to them. Because we have not pit for our tires yet to replace them yet. Yeah, but everybody's pitting, boxing, and all that. Stafford's already at 47 and he hasn't hit, and we haven't, but we still have a good amount. We just took him. The clouds are rolling in. The clouds are rolling in. Pit stop warning, I'm guessing. Yep, pit stop warning. Well, the question is, should we go to mediums or to meant to intermediates or wets? I think we'll stay on course. I think we'll stay on track a little bit longer. I know it might be a floating boat with the cars without intermediate or wet, but I want to get a sensation of what these guys want to do. Yep. Let's see. Both drivers are still on course. Still through. Pit window's open. Pit window has been open. But we're gonna hold off because we're gonna see if there's gonna. Yep, there's our 4-minute warning. So in the 4 minutes of this countdown timer, should be starting to see some rank percentiles should be start coming in. Is there any difference do I want to change up? Maybe in intermediates probably, but still I'm really sketchy on which tires to use. Either you switch to a full wets or just get an intermediate and need be use the wets. But I prefer doing a one stop, because a one stop will guarantee us to end up keep going. And we'll be having to use the curves to heat up the tires, because if we don't, it'll be cold tires and we'll be doing more damage and good to the tires themselves. So we are going to need to use a little bit of aggressive on there. See how many people has pitted already. See, Stafford hasn't, Hamilton hasn't, Ocon has it. The 4 right there. You can see them. Hamilton's on the hards. Stafford's he's at 40% like we are. So he's been conserving his a little bit, just like we have. How long will he last? Check those. So now we're in the back mark. Lawns is now hitting the back markers already. It's a good and a bad thing because that means that we're going to be start hitting the traffic. The back markers. What are we gonna get? Let's see. Less than a minute. Or it'll start changing it to much more percentile rain in the area. So we are going to be having ourselves coming in with a rain. It looks like it's going to be heavy rain for the 4-minute run. Looks like the marker showing us is heavy rain. The data is also starting to show that we are going to be getting the heavy rain, but for how long is the question. Should we just switch to an intermediate and the harvest?
Confirmed, we have more rain around.
Okay.
Okay, our engineer just confirmed it then. So we are keeping pace with it. Not yet. Still too early to ask for the wets or intermediates. We're going to be slow as heck without any water on the ground. The water, without the water, is just basically a horrible tires, and we'll just be so slow on the tires. So now we're in the optimal position for this pit stop. But is everybody going to be opting for the intermediates or the wet tires? For me, with this marker, is showing me that we should switch directly to wets. But I'm hesitating because it usually doesn't start too hard. It usually starts with an intermediate, starts off slowly, intermediate, slow rain, then it'll end up being heavy rain. So depending on what we end up receiving will dictate how we're going to get this done. So we'll see. And nobody has gone into the pits themselves, so it's really hard to end up saying that they're going to go for one side or the other. So far, Alonso's holding the field itself. Yep, blue flag, blue flag. Vehicles with a blue flag must let the faster vehicle overtake them. Holding them in 3 areas automatically gives you a penalty for holding the faster vehicle behind you. Okay, now it's really too sketchy. Are we going to end up doing it then? Or are we going to hold off until we get to that marker? It's still up to debate still.
Listen.
Yeah. Welcome on in. Thank you so much for
Training a
it
little bit.
itself.
Copy.
How you doing? Thanks so much for the raid. How was your stream? Hopefully it went well. Ah, bueno. Hello.
Listen.
Oh, how did that go for you? How many rounds did you won? Hopefully you won quite a bit, hopefully. But thank the raid and everybody welcome on in. Thanks so much. People from that came in from the raid. I'm a variety streamer. I just stream a whole bunch of different games. This time I'm playing F1 itself, so sometimes it could be something simple or something much more advanced. It could be anything that I end up deciding to go into.
Daniel P-line.
Okay, happy with that.
Copy that. Box this lap.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
see.
box.
We're going to box sprinters.
Yeah, it's F1 manager actually. I'm managing a pit crew, managing the team, deciding what to do, what's your strategy, how to end up making sure everybody ends up getting on target.
Track will be clear.
Box this lap.
Okay, box.
So I'm trying to end up maintaining the team to be good. So I decide, but sometimes I gotta figure out if it's a good time to do one thing or another. Not all strategies work, so. So I gotta end up figuring out what's a good thing I should do and what should I avoid. So.
Copy. P-10-3.
Yep, switch to damn.
Box area is very slippery.
Okay.
Yep. Yep, he has to wait for us because we're coming in. Oh, come on, drill that thing in.
Oh, no, please.
Sorry.
Oof.
You're in clear air.
Well, at least it didn't hold us that long. So I wasn't the only one with a problem with the tires, so. So we're gonna switch to anytime dry, and it looks like maybe later on, but it'll be very damp. So probably the last few laps, we're gonna probably get the dries. Maybe. Who knows? So let's see here. Right now my strategy is pretty much completed. I don't see too much of us switching the tires if we maintain this. Because you can see, our strategy was supposed to be done right here. But we didn't. We lasted up to here. Now we're in intermediates. And see how long that'll take for us. We don't want them to damage the vehicle as they're going through, so.
Try to reduce the hit on the curb.
Copy.
All tire grips going off of there, so we're gonna. Yeah, nobody crashed yet. Nobody has wrecked or anything yet. We're just good. We're all good. Yeah, nobody is wrecked. Nobody has did anything wrong, so we should be good. Todos está bien. A lot of slow-moving vehicles, so we're just having to go around them. That's all we're doing. It's just going around and just letting ourselves pass through. Luckily, everything is smooth sailing, luckily. But I think we're going to go ahead and switch. No, we should keep the fuel as is. I was thinking about reducing back into power, but we're good. I was tempting to switch it, but we're fine. It's a matter of just overlapping these vehicles and staying ahead. Into their viewpoint. Yeah, so far it's just mostly a clear track. Let's go to Ricardo, which has a little traffic around. But not too much, it's relatively a clear track for him. But here in the American soil, pretty much, where this F1 team has, it's going to be pretty much be winning the Grand Prix, it seems. You can see Ricardo went from all the way bottom of the grid to Tom. See, we're going to be getting how much points? So he's so close to passing Max Stafford. And our points here, we're going to be right on top of it. Not very much events going on, so other than just having small things with yellow flags with people getting spun around. Other than that, there's not very much going on. Other than trying to overlap these vehicles, but my strategy is complete. There's nothing else I want to end up telling my drivers to do, so.
On a bit of lift off while you can, it should help you.
Okay.
Reason why I want to do a little lift and coast because we got quite a bit of a race itself, so. Lift and coast, lift and coast. Since we're passing through them, we gotta go using our blue flag. You see, we're already like right here mid, so around 13. Where they're behind them. Alright, and how's everybody else doing so far? It's just so far just a matter of just waiting until more. We're just so far sitting as the back marker with nothing else. Go back out. So we're on lap 30 out of 56. Let's see here. This is definitely something we should not have everybody doing.
No heroics into Sandoval, please. We're in amongst the pack.
That's, well, was Ricardo in a whole bunch of everybody in there.
I think you have to leave a space. All the time you have to leave a space.
Yep, always leave the space for everybody else. Nah. Judy the Fox, thank you so much for the follow itself. How you doing so far? Hopefully you're doing well. Let's see. I haven't seen any rain. I think we're probably going to get this heaviest amount right here. Let's see, 40, 40, so around 45 is when we're going to be getting some heavier rain. Then would it be switching? Alrighty then. Yeah, good night. Renee's fine. Alrighty then. You take it easy, alright? Have a good one, alright? Let's go ahead and head over to Alonso. So B1 still. Let's see, everybody behind the grid is still one down. So Hamilton and upwards are pretty much still on the lead lap still. Hamilton is right in front of them. Oof. So, yipes. Let's see. I'm almost tempted that we should start using some fuel. But still relatively early still. Probably around 2.0 is when I should start using it up. Both of the Ferraris are back there. They're so far currently not even doing too much of pushing. They're just staying in the backfield waiting for us to do a mess up, it seems like. So it depends on what we are going to be doing as our strategy with that. Because they're probably waiting for us to end up probably going to the pits and try to get a probably fresh set of tires or something. Or probably end up waiting for us to end up doing something out of the ordinary. That'll cause us to end up doing that. So, hopefully we'll end up finding out soon enough. In the meantime, we'll just end up sit back and just wait for them they're just lurking pretty much. They're just lurking back there waiting for us to slow down. But we haven't slowed down. We've been going at full throttle. Yellow flag. Where's the yellow flag? Where's the who spawn?
We've got a yellow flag here.
Norris. Norris is in 15th position, so he must be back here in this. This must be him right here. Norris, am I right? Nope, he spun out somewhere up there then. So I guess I was wrong. Yeah. Oh well. He was somewhere up there, so pretty much he was no man's land. Nobody was nearby him to get back on the course. I'm starting to get a little worried on this one. Moderate rain coming up. Let's see. That's it. We're going to go ahead and have this as our backup. Lap 45, we're going to be ready for... So we are going to have that pit strategy right there just in case if we use it, we use it. If we don't, we don't. It's just an extra strategy just for us to decide whether or not we want to take it. Basically, it's my marker saying that, hey, let's see if we can see the weather going to change or it's going to stay the same. So... Still a little rain. Rubber's quite low. Yep, rotating between the two vehicles. Let's get a bird's eye view up here. Yep. Oh, I thought these guys were the ones, but they're right there. So it's only four. So it's only the small few that remains. So we don't have it as badly as I thought it was going to be. But, none of the case, we still got quite a bit to go. Still got to go to work and still got to put their stuff in there. start using some of that fuel a little bit.
Let's lift off, please.
Understood.
Okay. Doing a little change. Get them to start using a little
No
bit
more
more.
lift and coast.
Copy.
Yeah, we've been lifting, coasting them a little bit. But we gotta start using a little bit more fuel. What happened there? And a little bit why.
And we're
Double
watching
check.
Daniel Ricciardo. And nearly, just running wide. Fighting with the car, just a little perhaps.
It just went off of you. It didn't do too much damage there. And all it is just a little bit timing, but as we can see here with Ricardo right here, and where's third? Right here, so we still got enough for, let's see, 1 stop, 2 stop. We could do a multiple stop if we need to, but probably around a pit stop or 2. We may not need to do them, but we do have a spare, depending on how much rain comes in and how long the duration of the rain is. So we do have some moderate rain coming in right here, moderate rain, then light clouds. The rain don't dry up until almost close to the end. So we could end up getting some dry compounds at the very end, but that's if we do end up getting it to that point. I'm bringing it back down because I see that we have a possibility we could get some dry compound down.
And keep going with the lift off. You're doing very good job. Keep going with the lift off.
Yep, everything
understood.
coast, so we can end up just maintaining it that way. So we're coming up to lap 40 here. Still no changes, but still depends on if we're going to be really using that extra stuff or we're going to be passing through it, is the question in hand. Part of me says that we should take the opportunity, but part of me says that we should just switch to another set. Five more laps, and we're going to see if this rain is going to start coming down, pouring. A downpour. starting to pick up. The rain is now switching to moderate now. So far, the rain has to be around a 3.50 or above to be able to consider wet. So this damp right here needs to be at least a 4 or around 3.78, something higher. But if we're not getting to those temperatures, then we probably not need to switch them. But the number's starting to change. Going up or down? Should we be going upwards? Yep, there it goes. 1.38. We are going to see some increase in rain coverage itself. Increase of rain coverage. So we are going to need to switch ourselves to some, but it's still way too early to say for that entire compound. And here comes moderate rain. 2, 1. Moderate rain is now in here. At a number with 15 laps to go. Pit window is open. Tire grip is completely wiped off. Rubber slicks is not going to be good for the compound here. So it looks like we may end up having it moderate. It may end up just coming back down. But we're still early because there's the heavier rain still coming still. Even though the pit road is open, do we want to switch it? Right now we don't have the heavy rain here, so I don't want to switch us just yet. I'm still waiting for the numbers to show that we need to switch to wets. So it's still relatively good enough to use intermediates. So it's not until we reach around like 3 point. So we still got time. But the worst case scenario is that we just don't even have the correct tires at the right timing. But we got a lot of time that we have. We're not going to end up running out of timing anytime soon. With our strategy at the moment, we are going to be currently still ahead. Everybody behind us is still behind us low. Currently, our lap times, we're already ahead of everybody by 1 lap. The Red Bull and the Ferraris are the only 2 teams that have not been lapped. All the other teams have been lapped by us. So we're doing excellent with us being this high. So we'll see. So there's our notification of very low grip, so dry condition. Car conditions, we're still good. We're still about 2 laps to go before the raid shows itself. We're already in the 2.4. So we're starting to come to the heavy part. So we're at a yellow for possibility. But we still got time before it ends up really start coming down. So we should be keeping an eye. I know it seems to be that we're not getting too much activity, but because now we're just dealing with the weather now as our strategy. Here comes the next set of rain here. And I don't think it's gonna make it.
And we are not expecting more rain, so I'll let you judge the conditions.
Understood.
So we're gonna be relatively probably stick on this compound. But you can see the numbers still not, we're still in the yellow. We may not need to switch them, we may just cancel it. But not to say that we can end up going in for another stop for some more intermediates, but we are started on the pit stop with a wet compound in sight, so still up for the debate, but we are still sitting nice and proudly, just staying right here where we're at, and just waiting. Currently, we don't have to rush at our pit stop like that. Like we just sit around. We don't need to worry about having to do a whole bunch of changes, even though it says that we should end up start thinking about it. But right now, I'm just happy that we're just this point and just sit here and just wait around for that. If we do have to change it, so be it. But right now, we just have that as a backup. It's all. So, we're gonna go ahead, ignore the command of the extra pit stop. If there's not gonna be any more rain, then Charlie's raining. Be less, but we're still on the intermediates. Because the number is still in yellow. It's close to 3. Could be too early to end up switching them. But we can ignore our pit stop because we don't need to use them immediately. It's just like I said, it's just a backup in case we wanted to. Doesn't mean that we had to take it. Now, if we were driving the vehicle and they optimized us to use it, then it's quite obvious. So it's already clearing up. It's clearing up. Numbers are going to start dropping here. So we're going to start having ourselves with mediocre condition. But we're going to probably switch ourselves to some drier compounds. Probably into the softs if we can make it that way around with that.
Unconfirmed, rain stopped.
Understood.
It's complete understood. Like I said, I would prefer sticking ourselves in this compound and just wait. We're just on standby to end up deciding whether or not we want to end up switching it or not. But at 10 laps to go, and when the items starting to dry up, we're probably going to. Eh. Of course, we're going. Not very much of a desert itself, but we are going through around the course. Texas is somewhat desert area, so it makes sense. But I think we're going to be ready for dry compounds. I'm really saying we're going to. Yep, we're almost getting there. What? Just shock? That's all. Well, it's just so far we're coming to a conclusion of the race itself. Surprisingly, we had to do a restart because the race decided to glitch right then and there. That's a what the heck happened there. Couldn't even do anything, couldn't see my radar, couldn't see anything, couldn't give commands. It was basically a matter of what the heck moment. So the chance of incident did go up. Weather conditions still relatively low. We're probably going to do it on lap 50. We're going to box for dry compounds because I don't see us having any kind of condition problems of us. I think I'm going for probably next lap. Probably, I don't know. Right now, it's this number is sort of giving me a little bit of like, why are you so slow? It's supposed to be dropping down at a certain amount, but it's not dropping low enough that I feel happy with it. So it's just relatively just staying at its peak low. So it's not giving me very much good data, but we do have that highest center on there, a level 5, but even with the highest technical data, it doesn't give you all the readouts still. So we're still, come on. should be already below a 30. But we kept our tires in optimal condition during the whole entire rain and everything. So we're good if we needed to stay on there, but we are going to need to switch over ourselves to the next tire compound, which would be the dry.
Box, box.
Your box is up.
Confirming your box in this lap.
Up in the box.
Okay. So we are going to put the dry compounds. I'm going for it. It may be a gamble, but I'm wanting to take that gamble. We're way ahead of the track itself. We're ahead of everybody. We could actually do a little bit of a roll of the dice itself and hope for the best. Everybody's still keeping themselves into intermediate tires. We are going to go ahead and switch over to the dry compound. I know this is very early to be switching to dry compounds, but I'm feeling comfortable that our drivers could end up handling a little slick. Even though it would say race incident, like if we are going to be in an accident, it's very medium, though. Definitely went up. Lap times are higher. So we are going to go ahead and launch for this lap. And is anybody going to come into the pits with us during this time? And it doesn't look like, yep, there comes some takers following us into the pit box itself.
Box.
Box there is very slippery.
Okay.
There you go. Called it. There you go. Called it that it was going to switch, and it did.
Daniel, pit line.
Take it easy in the pit entry.
Okay, understood.
So there's our pit entry right there. There we go. Pit strategy complete. We want to finish on this compound. So there we go. Pit strategy complete. And we're done with that.
From tyre points of view, we don't think lift and coast is necessary.
Yeah, okay.
No lift and coast, so pretty much it's just full out, straight out. Everybody's still the same team's been holding out for so long. Let's see where they are on track. So where's first? Let's see, where is he? I see Ricardo there. There's Alonso. Go. They going into the pits itself. Yep. So they are going to go into the pits itself.
How many laps left?
Five laps to go.
There we go. Only the Red Bull team is the only team that's not been lapped. Everybody else have been lapped. So everybody's lapped down. So we held up for ourselves quite good. Right now, we're keeping ourselves, maintaining everything, keep the delta high, maintaining everything stays normally. Once we get down to our last 2 laps, we are going to go full throttle as is. Give everything, use our ERS, our
You were the
pace.
fastest car on track last lap.
Copy.
Okay,
4 laps
4
to go.
laps to go. 4 laps to go. We good to go with that? See, we're going to pull the safety pin off. Not yet. 3
3
laps.
laps to go.
Safety pin is still in. We still have another lap and a half still, so.
Very good lap.
Very good lap indeed then. With the timing, that's pretty good.
There's a yellow flag now.
Watch for yellows.
Copy.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and get the pins ready. Fastest lap on. They're just improving their timings each time.
How many laps to the end?
2 laps.
2 more laps.
So we're already ready with the safety pin, ready to go. Ready for an all-out attack from them. Alonso, get ready for your... What? You're staring like it's the last moment. Don't worry, we're getting there. It's almost all the way through. One attack.
Let's concentrate on clean laps as fast as you can.
Copy.
Mode push, please.
Copy.
Final lap of the race. Final lap of the race.
We are good to push.
Yep, understood.
Now it's all up to the drivers then. Get in there. Go, go, go for it. There we go.
Yeah, I'm happy for you guys.
Alonso has done it! Fernando Alonso is today's Grand Prix winner. It's all over. Fernando Alonso picks up first place.
Go.
Just amazing. I think that's a race that people will be talking about for years to come.
He's no time to end his show yet. There's Ricardo coming to the start finishing log. And he'll be in P2.
Okay, we take the flag.
Yo. Yep, he's happy with that results. Wow. What an amazing drive. Go.
Now, didn't Fernando Alonso look really great out there today?
An inspired strategy from the team there. What a well-deserved win that was.
Well, they've been waiting for this, haven't they? And it's only right that they make the most of it. And that man up there is certainly no stranger to an F1 podium. Always great to see Fernando in the top three.
There's further delight for the team as they get to see both drivers up there together.
So, ladies and gentlemen, your podium for the United States Grand Prix.
Yeah. So it was a home Grand Prix for us, so.
Now, Karun, I'd be really keen to know, how do you think the Haas team will be reflecting on today's results?
I doubt they could be much happier. A win and a podium place. What a great way to round out the weekend.
And with that, our time in Texas now draws to a close.
We're nearing the end of the season and it's time for some serious heat. Stay with us as Formula One moves to Mexico City.
Mexico City, huh? You got me off guard. Meh? What's going on? Did something happen? think we're good. Okay, well then. Let's see, who should we have our raid target for tonight? Some of these people are ending theirs. Let's see, let me see if they're gonna keep going. Another person probably. Trying to find somebody right now. Let's go ahead and just. Let's see. Let's go ahead and start going to them for once. We haven't gone into them. So, with that in mind, guys, thank you so much for joining me here on this episode here. Thanks for everybody that's joined me. It was a weird one with it crashing like that, but we're back on schedule. So, with that in mind, guys, I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Thanks for watching.